What if the advice that's supposed to make you financially secure is actually the reason you're broke? Go to school, get good grades, land a safe job, save your money. Robert Kiyosaki says that advice is exactly what keeps people stuck, and Rich Dad Poor Dad spends 200 pages proving it. Kiyosaki grew up with two father figures. His real dad, highly educated, a respected government official, constantly struggled with money. His best friend's dad, an 8th grade dropout, became one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. Same city, same opportunities, completely different bank accounts. The difference wasn't intelligence, it was how each man thought about money. Kiyosaki calls his biological father Poor Dad, and his mentor Rich Dad. Everything in the book flows from the gap between how those two men saw the world. The first big idea is the rat race. Most people work for money their entire life. Money that gets eaten alive by taxes, debt, and bills the moment it arrives. Get a raise and your taxes go up. Buy a bigger house and your expenses follow. It's like running on a treadmill that speeds up every time you do. You work harder, but never actually move forward. The rich escape by flipping the equation. Instead of working for money, they make money work for them. Which leads to the most important concept in the book, the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset puts money into your pocket, stocks, rental property, a business you own. A liability pulls money out, car loans, credit cards, even your mortgage. Here's the line that makes most people put the book down and stare at the wall. Your house is not an asset, it's a liability. Every month, it drains cash through mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, and repairs. Poor Dad believed his home was his greatest investment. Rich Dad believed that if your house is your biggest investment, you're in trouble, because that money should be working, not sitting in walls and a roof. So what should you actually build? Kiyosaki says, mind your own business, not your job, your asset column. Think of it like a garden. Your job is the watering can. It keeps things alive day to day. Your assets are the seeds. Plant enough of them and eventually the garden feeds you whether you show up or not. The rich also lean on a tool most people ignore: corporations. An employee earns money, pays taxes on it, then lives on what's left. A corporation flips that order. It earns, spends on legitimate expenses first, and only pays tax on what remains. It's like a buffet where one person pays for their plate before they eat, and the other pays only for what's left on the plate after the meal. None of this works without financial intelligence, which Kiyosaki breaks into 4 skills. Accounting, so you can read the numbers. Investing, so your money grows. Understanding markets, so you know supply and demand. And law, so you can use these same tax advantages the wealthy rely on. Even people who know all this still get stuck, usually for one of 5 reasons. Fear of losing money, cynicism that talks them out of trying, laziness disguised as busyness, bad habits like paying everyone else before paying yourself, and arrogance that masks ignorance as confidence. One of the boldest pieces of advice in the book: choose your first job for what you'll learn, not what you'll earn. Kiyosaki took a low-paying sales job at Xerox purely to get comfortable with rejection, a skill that paid off far more over time than a bigger salary ever could. So how do you actually start? Find a reason bigger than your excuses. Pay yourself first. Invest before you pay bills, and let due dates sharpen your financial creativity. Invest constantly in your own education. And once your assets generate real cash flow, use that money, not loans, to buy luxuries. The big idea of Rich Dad Poor Dad isn't really about money at all. It's about which column you're feeding. The one that pays you, or the one that bills you.